So welcome to video 2 of showing you how to prepare to register for your spring 2012 classes. So now that we have an idea of the classes that you're going to want to take by using our program evaluation, the next thing we're going to do is learn how to search for those classes through WebAdvisor. So if you go to that home page of WebAdvisor, underneath where it says Welcome, there is a link that'll take you to the tool we use to search for course sections. So you're going to click on that. The screen shown is what comes up next after you click on Search for Course Sections. The first thing you want to do is select your term that you're searching for. So for this, we're looking for classes that are available in the spring 2012 semester. In the middle of the screen, you can see a couple different options that you can select to kind of narrow the results that we have. So you can narrow it by subject. So there's a drop-down box right underneath subject, and you can click specific class types to show up on the screen. So for this example, we were going to click on psychology to look for those classes in the psychology department that are available in the spring of 2012. So click on the subject and then hit submit. Another option we have is to narrow it down by course type. So again, you're going to want to select spring 2012 classes for your term. And then on the far right side of that middle section underneath course types, there's a drop-down box that brings up a couple different options. You can select different courses that fulfill requirements in your general education program. So aesthetic and philosophical observation of our natural world, as well as a couple other different options. So you can select course types by that and then click on submit to bring up those classes that are available.
And you can also limit your course results by days and times. So if you only wanted courses on specific days, you can select those down at the bottom under the drop-down menus, or you can select courses that start after a certain time or end before a certain time. So then once you click submit, this would be the results that would come up for searching for just psychology courses in the spring 2012 semester. So basically you want to pay attention to the status column, and you'll either see a status of open, closed, or waitlisted. And the key to that column is up in the left-hand corner at the top of the page. So you want to look for open courses. Those are courses that you can go ahead and prepare to enroll for as long as you met all the prerequisites. However, closed courses means that the class is full, so you'd be put on a wait list and you'd be waiting for someone to drop out of the course so that you could get into the course. If the course is waitlisted, there's already a waitlist form, so there's already students waiting to get into the course, so you'd be at least the second person on the wait list. On the section name and title column, you'll see the titles of the courses available. You can click on those titles for a description of the course as well as what books are required for the course. Under location, you want to make sure that it says Aurora main campus and not Lake Geneva or any of the cohort locations. Then meeting information shows the days and times the courses are offered. So for the circled course, it meets Tuesday and Thursday 10 to 11:45 in the morning. Then faculty, if there's a professor assigned to the course, they'll be listed there. And then for open seats capacity and waitlist column, the open seat shows how many seats are still available in the course. The capacity is the full course of how many students could be enrolled in the course. And then the waitlist, if there's already a waitlist formed, the last number will be how many students are already on the waitlist before you would be added to a waitlist. Then it shows the credits of the course, and the academic level you want to make sure says undergraduate instead of graduate. And then under comments, it'll show any prerequisites that are required for the course. So if it has a prerequisite listed, you want to make sure that you're either enrolled in that course currently or you have already completed it, so it'll be complete before you start the next course. It also shows if there's any general education requirements that the course meets, and then if there's any other restrictions. And for example, some courses will say open to adult degree completion students only, and you don't want to take those courses. That's for a different program.
So now that you have your classes picked out, the next thing that I use when I'm planning out my class schedule is the Crouse Center's course planning worksheet. I call it the Travis worksheet because Travis Ramage, one of the academic advisors in the Crouse Center, developed it to help students be able to visualize and plan out their school week a little bit better. So then once you have your list of classes that you want to take, you can use this grid system to plan out your week to see where those classes actually lie during the school week. So the first class that I had picked out is the Christian Bible, which is Religion 1100, Section 01. So that class it meets Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays at 10:40. So you can see in the grid, I have the religion class planned out on my Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays during the 10:40 slot. You can do this with the rest of your classes as well, so you can see where you have classes available and then when you have open times. I also use this. I like to plan out my work schedule as well as my athletic schedule. When you have practices, if you're an athlete, or if you know you have games, you can fill those in right away when you're using your planning worksheet, so you're not registering for any classes that are going to conflict with that.
There's also some important links on the bottom right-hand side of the page, and that just shows the Crouse Center for Student Success's website, so there's some academic resources on that site, and then also the links for the 4-year plans. You probably received a 4-year plan for your major in the summer at either AU4U or your individual advising appointment. So if you lost that or you're thinking about changing your major, you can take a look at those plans just to get an idea of what your 4 years could look like here at AU. And just keep in mind also, this isn't any kind of an official document, so you can write all over this. If you mess up, you can erase or scratch things out and write on it again. It's just a tool for you to use to plan out your classes. You're not going to turn this into your advisor or anything like that.
Some other things to keep in mind when planning your course schedule. In order to be a full-time student, you need to have between 12 and 17 credit hours in the semester. If you are a student who received a MAP grant, you need to have at least 15 credits in the semester to receive the full award amount. Another thing to make sure you get, in order to become a sophomore and gain that sophomore status, you need to have at least 30 credit hours completed. And until you reach that sophomore status, you're only allowed to take 1,000 and 2,000 level courses. Another thing to keep in mind, as freshmen, first-year students, we're not allowed to take any night courses with the exception of physical education activities courses such as yoga or Pilates or other courses like that.
And just for specific programs, for honors program students, you'll take an honors seminar in the spring semester, and that'll meet a general education requirement. So make sure you speak with the honors program director about what course you want to take. And STAR program students will choose a section of IDS 1100, which is career exploration. It's a 1 credit hour class that meets Monday, Wednesday, or Friday at 12 o'clock, and that's required for your program.
For the student athletes watching, I kind of touched on this a little earlier when we were talking about the course planning worksheet, but you're going to want to plan out your practice times and game schedule so it coincides well with your course schedule. So if you don't know your practice times or games yet, talk to your coach before registering for your classes so you don't have any conflicts with your athletic schedule and your academic schedule. Another thing that we have, an option that we have as athletes, is to receive an athletic participation credit. It's 1 credit hour for the sports that you can receive for the semester in which your season takes place. So if you're a spring student or a spring athlete, your season is going on during the spring semester, you're allowed to receive that 1 credit hour during the spring. Fall athletes can only receive that credit during the fall. You can use this up to 3 times total before your graduation. The only stipulation we have with this is you can't use it to reach full-time status. So if you registered for 11 credit hours in the semester, you can't use that participation credit to reach full and to reach 12 credits and be a full-time student.
So for your advising appointment, you'll want to make sure you arrive at least 5 minutes early just to check in and in case you need to fill out any other paperwork, and bring a photo ID with you. Please turn your cell phone to silent or vibrate during your appointment. Your appointment's only about 30 minutes long at the most, so it shouldn't take too long and you should be able to get out of there pretty quickly, and it just helps to eliminate distractions. And make sure before you come to your appointment you write down any questions that you have for your advisor. You want to make sure that you get all of your questions answered and let them know anything that pertains to your scheduling, and so you want to make sure that you have those prepared as well. And you'll bring the following to your appointment. It'll be a registration form, a tuition and fees payment agreement form, and an advising worksheet, and that's all contained in the registration packet that you'll pick up in the Crouse Center after you make your appointment. So the registration form, you'll fill out the top half of it with your contact information and some demographic information. You don't need to put any of your courses on that sheet. Wait until you meet with your advisor to make sure everything is set before you put those on the sheet. Then your tuition and fees payment agreement form, you'll just print your name at the top, write your ID number on the ID number line, and then check the spring 2012 box at the top, and then just sign and date the bottom. And then the advising worksheet with your course numbers and sections. So make sure that you include both the course numbers and the sections, like Jake had talked about earlier. And again, you can write all over this if you want to put your questions that you have for your advisor on your advising worksheet, that's fine. But just have that as a tool so that you have an idea of what you want to take. And if your appointment's a little bit later on in the afternoon, make sure that your selected courses and sections are still open on WebAdvisor that morning, because you just don't want to come into your appointment and really want a class at a certain time and then find out that it's closed up since you looked at the courses and you're going to have to pick something else. So just make sure that they're still open. If you have an account hold, you won't be able to make your advising appointment until that hold's removed. So you can either look on WebAdvisor and it should show if you have a hold on your account, or when you call to make your appointment or stop into the Crouse Center, we'll let you know if you have a hold on your account. So for immunization holds, you'll need to contact Dana Gannett in Student Life. And for student account holds, you'll need to contact Ellen Buckingham in Student Accounts to have those removed, and then you can go ahead and make your registration appointment. So just a few important dates to remember. Monday, October 10th is when you can start calling or stopping by the Crouse Center to make your registration appointment for spring 2012. You'll call 630-844-6870, or you can stop into Eckert Hall on the 3rd floor, room 310 or 312. And then also make sure that you pick up a registration packet in the Crouse Center anytime after you make your advising appointment, and you'll need to have that ready for your appointment. Appointments start on Monday, October 17th. And they're 30 minutes long, so make sure that you are prepared. You don't have to have everything figured out, but at least have a direction that you're going so that your advisor has something to work with you on and has an idea of your interests.
So we hope that these videos have helped you feel more confident in picking out your spring classes. We understand you may have some questions. If you do have any of those, feel free to contact Brynn in the Crouse Center. Her contact information is on the screen. You can also talk to your particular academic advisor in the Crouse Center, and the Crouse Center's number is listed on the screen, and from there they'll be able to transfer you to your advisor. Another great resource is your peer advisor. They have plenty of experience helping you pick out your classes. You guys know this because they were the ones that were with you during AU4U, helping you pick out your classes for the fall semester. So they're another great resource to go to if you have any questions. So good luck, and thanks for watching.